She didn't look like someone who wanted trouble. Her hands trembled slightly as she pulled her coat tighter around her. The bus was crowded, the air thick with impatience, and the cold air from outside still clung to her skin. Her seat was near the front, second row, aisle side. A spot meant for the elderly or the injured. A man in a crisp suit stood over her now, arms folded, voice low but sharp enough to cut through the murmur of tired passengers. "You need to move, ma'am," he said. She didn't flinch, didn't argue, didn't even look up. She just said quietly, "I'll stay right here." Whispers began in the rows behind. A woman muttered about entitlement. A teenager scoffed, pulling out his phone. The bus driver hesitated, glancing in the mirror, unsure if he should intervene to TO them. She was just another stubborn old lady, clinging to a seat she didn't deserve. What they hadn't noticed, not yet, was the small black canvas bag resting on her lap. It was worn, faded from sun and time, but pinned to it was something unmistakable, something sacred. A silver star with 5 points, glinting softly beneath the overhead light. But they hadn't seen it yet. She didn't want them to. Her name was Clara Mae Dunning, 82 years old, once a combat medic in the Gulf, twice decorated for bravery, and still haunted by the sounds of voices that never made it home. She didn't look like a soldier. Her hands were delicate now, her voice quieter than it once was. But 30 years ago, those hands stopped bleeding that would have killed, lifted bodies from burning trucks, and stitched flesh in the dark with nothing but moonlight and prayer. She never talked about what she'd done. Not because she was ashamed, but because the ones she tried to save weren't here to speak. Her son had enlisted, too. Private First Class Adam Dunning, killed in Helmand Province, Afghanistan. That was the last time Clara wore her uniform. The day they folded the flag and placed it in her arms. Since then, she rode the same bus every Tuesday to the VA clinic. Alone, quiet, always carrying that bag and that medal, but not for show, not for pity, only because it belonged to Adam now. She hadn't moved when the man snapped again, louder this time. "Lady, that seat's for people who need it." Clara slowly looked up. Her eyes were calm, not angry, not shaken, just steady. Another passenger grumbled. Why can't she just move? A boy, maybe 10 years old, sitting with his mother across the aisle, noticed it first. "Mom," he whispered, pointing. "What's that on her bag?" The mother leaned in, her eyes narrowing, and then they widened. She reached out and gently tugged her son's sleeve. "That's a silver star." The boy blinked. "What's that mean?" "It means," she said, her voice suddenly hushed, "she saved people." Another man, wearing an Army veteran cap, turned in his seat. He looked, then stood up. Slowly, the air shifted, the whispers stopped, and then, one by one, passengers began to stand. Not to fight, not to argue, but in silence, respectful, unmistakable. The man in the suit stepped back, shame flooding his face. He opened his mouth to say something, but couldn't. No apology would have mattered now. Clara gave a soft nod, her eyes scanning the aisle. She didn't need the attention, didn't want it, but it wasn't for her. Not really. That it was for every medic who didn't come back. Every name etched in cold stone. Every voice cut off mid-sentence in the middle of war. "I stay," she finally said, "for the ones who can't." No one questioned her again. The driver said nothing, just pulled back into traffic with tears in his eyes. And the boy across the aisle? He stood the whole ride. Never took his eyes off her. Some heroes wear uniforms. Others carry their medals quietly, inside worn bags and heavier hearts. And sometimes, refusing to move isn't about the seat. It's about the story no one ever asked to hear. There are silent heroes among us. People who carry invisible weight, who ask for nothing, not even a seat. Clara never raised her voice, because her presence raised 1,000 others. Where are you watching from? Have you ever witnessed a quiet act of courage like this? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe in stories that honor our silent heroes, subscribe for more.